10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11. Tower cleared.
Okay, we got a roll program.
Neil Armstrong reporting the roll and pitch program, which puts Apollo 11 on a proper heading.
Today marks 50 years since one of the greatest technological achievements of humankind. On July 20th, 1969, 2 men landed the lunar module codenamed Eagle onto the lunar surface.
Lights on. Forward. Forward. 40 feet down, 2.5. Picking up some dust. Straight shadow. 4 forward, drifting to the right a little. 30 seconds. Forward. Contact light. Okay, engine stop. We copy you down, Eagle. Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Orbiting above the 2 men was Michael Collins, who was piloting the Return to Earth vehicle. Below him, Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong were now mere feet away from walking on another world. You can imagine the excitement building. Never before had such an event encapsulated the entire globe. Almost every single person alive was aware of what was going on. And considering it was 1969, that's no mean feat. There was no internet, no YouTube, and no app you could download to keep up to date with current events. No. In fact, everybody had to tune into their TV or listen to their radio station. And so, for the next few moments, that's exactly what the world did. They stopped, they watched, and they listened, for history was about to be made. But let's consider those 3 men, thousands of miles away from home. Listening to their conversations with ground control, you would think it was just a routine operation. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin were now sitting in their lander, mere feet away from the lunar surface, with nothing more than their suits and a small hatch between them and the vacuum of space. As the hatch opened, Neil Armstrong began his most historic descent onto the lunar surface.
Are only compressed in the surface about 1 or 2 inches, although the surface appears to be very, very fine-grained as you get close to it. It's almost like a powder. Ground mass is very fine. I'm going to step off the lamb now. That's 1 small step for man, 1 giant leap for mankind.
An iconic moment in human history, and proof that we as a species, when we join together and put our minds to a task, we are capable of accomplishing almost anything. You may be fooled into thinking that they stopped there, but in fact the United States was going to send another 6 more manned missions to the moon. And although America may be the only country so far to put people on the moon, they're not the only country to visit the moon. In fact, Russia, China, Japan, India and the European Space Agency have all sent probes to the lunar surface. And hopefully soon, Israel will also join the club. And America's not the only one with a first. In fact, China had their first in January this year when they landed the Chang'e 4 on the far side, or dark side, of the lunar surface. And it's not stopping there. No, the United States of America are planning to send another manned mission to the moon in 2024, and another first for them. Hopefully it will be the first woman on the moon, and about time too. And if we're lucky enough here in the UK, we might even get the first Brit on the moon in 2024, so fingers crossed. But why, I hear you ask? What's the point? Nobody's been back to the moon in decades. Well, although this is true, and yes, no one has stepped foot on the moon since Eugene Cernan in 1972, it all comes down to the fact that, really, when we were there, the technology we had didn't allow us to do much. Although we might have been able to drive around the moon a bit and take a few samples, it yielded very little in the way of research and results. In fact, when we look at the technology that we had between 1969 and 1972, it's amazing that we were able to achieve what we did in the first place. Consider this. Take the iPhone 6. Now, old news to most of you today. However, the iPhone 6 is almost 120 million times faster than the computers that they used during the Apollo era. So what does the future look like? Although we may have Moon 2024 and hopefully Mars 2030, what are we going to do when we get there? Well, let's consider 21st century technology. It far surpasses that was around in 1969 and 1972. For instance, 3D printing, quantum computing, artificial intelligence, robotics, and exotic materials means that travelling beyond Earth, the Moon and Mars is not only the goal of national space agencies, but that of private agencies as well. So, who knows? Maybe in the future your grandchildren will be living on a base in the middle of Pluto, looking back through their augmented reality devices, wondering how did people live on Earth in the 21st century? So we look forward to this exciting era of space travel that lies before us, and especially looking forward to 2024 and when the first woman will land on the moon. We do wonder though, what will her first words be? Maybe you have some suggestions and you could pop them in the comments below. But until then, let's just remind ourselves of those first 3 brave pioneers and those 2 men who walked on another world for the first time.
I got my first real 6-string, brought it out the 5 and time, played it till my fingers bled. Was the summer around 69? Me and some guys from school had a band and we tried real hard till the squid until this got.
Thank you for watching our video today, and we do hope you've enjoyed this 50th anniversary special of the Apollo 11 mission. F.R.E.E are a non-profit organisation, and all of the money that we earn on our social media platforms goes towards helping local projects and local charities that exclusively look after those at the foundations of our society. So, why not give us a subscribe, a share and a like? And we'll see you again. Until next time, thank you.